Hello, my name is Hanui and this is my boyfriend Zane.
Hi everyone.
I thought I would film a little sit down video and just give a bit of an update and an intro into what our next year is going to look like. So we are currently sitting in Koh Lak, which is about an hour and a half out of Phuket, because we'll be spending the next year-ish traveling around Southeast Asia. So it is the 6th of May today and we left Perth for our travels on the 1st of May at 6 p.m. We had a 5.5 hour flight into Singapore where we had a
8 hours.
8 hour layover in the Singapore airport, and then a 2-hour flight to get to Phuket, and then an hour and a half drive to get to our accommodation in Koh Lak. So our form of full-time travel will look slightly different to most backpacker full-time travel people, and that's because everywhere we go we're pretty much going to stay there for about 30 days, and the reason for that is so then we can get into like a proper routine, like daily routine, eating, working out, and working online as well. But so far our plans are spend 29 days here in Koh Lak, and then we do have to leave because you can only be here for 30 days at a time on the holiday visa.
The visa exemption.
So we're going to fly to Singapore and we're going to do 4 nights there, and then we will fly back to Koh Lak again and do another 29 days, and then from here we'll be flying into Canggu for 30 days, and from there the plans are still kind of up in the air.
That's the end of the plans at the moment.
Yeah, but that's what we have set in stone so far. So you're probably wondering why we are staying in Koh Lak for so long and also coming back, and that is because we found a practitioner online who specialises in the style of training that we are getting into, or Zane's been into, and I'm getting into it now, and it's called Functional Patterns, and maybe eventually we'll talk a little bit more about it because it is quite an in-depth thing to talk about. But yeah, that was kind of like how it all started. We knew we wanted to travel. Zane knew that he wanted to do this Functional Patterns, so we kind of just tried to look around for practitioners over Asia.
Yeah, so you can look up on their website where practitioners are located, and there was one in Thailand. Originally we thought it was in Bangkok, but then we messaged him on Instagram. Turns out he's in Koh Lak, so we looked up this place.
And it's beautiful,
yeah.
So we thought, why not give it a go? And stemming from that as well, pretty much we will be finding FP practitioners all over Asia.
Yeah.
So that is where we will pretty much end up, and that's why we'll be staying in each place for a long period of time so that we can actually, again, get into a proper routine and work nice and closely with the practitioners as well. So about 9 months ago, we started floating around a bunch of different ideas of, I guess, what we wanted our next couple of years to look like. One of the first things was possibly moving up north of WA to a place called Karratha. That was mainly for Zane's work and for us to both just like make bulk money, really, because that's obviously where all the mining industries and stuff are. The next thing we thought about was obviously buying a house and just settling down in Perth, and then we also had the idea of wanting to travel as well on our minds. But pretty quickly we both kind of realised that we weren't ready to settle down yet, plus the housing market in Perth is just terrible at the moment. But on top of realising we didn't want to settle was also that we don't want to do the 9-to-5 grind anymore. So what better way to escape that than literally leaving the country and escaping it. So yeah. My main focus while we travel will be content creation and just like creating a bit of a travel guide for wherever we land. Zane will be in some of my videos, but he'll more just be like a feature or probably behind the camera, because he's got his own work going on that will take up pretty much all of his time. So you'll see him, but it'll mostly be me, unfortunately.
On YouTube at least. For
YouTube anyway. So yeah, I'll be uploading on Instagram and TikTok as well. Instagram will be more just like stories and like photo kind of content, whereas TikTok will be more of the daily, like everyday kind of stuff that we'll be getting up to. So you can kind of follow along on all the different things depending on, I guess, the type of content that you're really looking for. So yeah. Monday to Friday, pretty much our days will look very similar on all of those days in terms of like sticking to routine, doing a few hours of work, training, eating, all that kind of stuff. But then over the weekends will be when we're kind of doing a bit more of exploring around where we are. So if there is anything that you see on any of those platforms that you want to know more about, make sure you let me know.
Yeah, because there'll be a few things we're doing that might seem a bit unusual. Like we'll be doing this different type of training that you've probably never heard of before. We'll be probably training Muay Thai a fair bit, so we can get some footage of that. We'll be baking in the sun in the morning and at night.
Yeah.
We'll have these red lights in our room you might catch one time.
Yeah.
And you might want to know why we're doing it, so we're going to be happy to share that.
Yeah. But yeah, and all the things that Zane's just mentioned as well, you probably, half of them you're like, what the heck are you
Probably
talking
thinking,
about?
what the fuck is this going about, you know?
But that is going to be the goal of the channel as well, is to obviously, you know, give you guys a little bit of tips and tricks and advice, and just show you into our life and what we'll be doing over the next year, because our main focus will be just becoming the best versions of ourselves in every aspect of life, which is going to look completely different to what you would usually see on social media.
What's the saying of our trip?
Oh yeah, Zane come up with the saying, and it is freedom and functionality.
Yes.
So that is what we'll be focusing on for the next year. So the things that Zane has just mentioned might sound a bit funky to you, but once we do get into it, get into our flow and into our routine, we will tell you more about it and bring you guys along with the whole journey as well. That was just our little introductory to, as I said, what we'll be getting up to over the next year. So if you have any questions, make sure to leave them below. And that's us really. Yeah. I will be posting every Sunday on YouTube, every day on TikTok, and updating my stories on Instagram every day as well. So follow along on all the things and you'll be able to see what we get up to for the next year. Bye!